Life in Sydney is completely different than what it was even a month or two ago. Everything shut down, restaurants are only open and available for takeout, and only essential services are running. So it definitely doesn't look like the typical sunny, vibrant city that it's known as. Though things in the city are looking pretty optimistic, knock on wood, touch black, the number of new confirmed cases is constantly in the single digits, and there's already been talks about restrictions being lifted. We're allowed 2 people outside of a household to now visit a household, and beaches are now open for exercise purposes. But I think that the overall tone is that we're still being very cautious. It's a huge contrast to Ontario though, where the number of new cases is constantly in the 400s, almost in the 500s. Maybe now it's starting to slow down a little more in the 300s, but I mean triple digits, like that's huge. So first of all, what am I doing here still in Sydney? Home is Canada and I'm over here on the other side of the world. And of course I've cracked a couple times, not gonna lie. I've asked myself that question as well, because there's been a lot of fear and anxiety over the unpredictability of it all, as I'm sure a lot of people can relate. But I've talked it over and decided that it just doesn't make sense for me to go home and put my family potentially at risk. I don't have that constant fear of whether or not I'm endangering them at the back of my head just by doing everyday things, activities such as working out or going to get groceries. I think what we're all just trying to do is grab a sense of normalcy throughout all of this. So I will say that some days I do feel a little more discouraged, and it's okay. It's totally okay to just sit back and not do anything, because these are really unprecedented times. But things that help keep me motivated, making a to-do list, things that I make sure I do every day just to help me feel that sense of accomplishment. 1, waking up and making my bed. Number 2, working out, getting in some sort of physical activity, whether that be just say 30 minutes run, maybe a long prolonged walk to go and run some errands, maybe a ab or butt workout just at home. Anything to keep me moving. And then my tasks for the day, whether that be job hunting, meal prepping / getting groceries, reading a book, or investing some more time and efforts into some hobbies I've picked up. I've been baking a lot. I popped on the baking train. I've been making cookies, cake, carrot cake the other day with some walnuts, freshly grated carrots for my planting. So I got 38 seeds for free, like little woolly planter cups with different herbs and vegetables and flowers. I went and picked up a bunch of pots from Facebook Marketplace. I'm hoping that I will see some little plant babies evolve from that. Although this pandemic has had tremendously negative impacts on all aspects of life, I want to point out the positives that I've really pulled out from all of this. Number 1, communication is stronger than ever before. We're learning to communicate with each other in ways that we don't normally make time for. We're learning to actively listen to what other people say, and we actually really care to hear how they are doing deeply. Just because this is an experience that really ties us all together, and we're able to recognize the challenges that come with it. We're utilizing social media for the purpose I think it was intended to have, and that is just connectivity. Number 2, we are allowing ourselves to get more in touch with our deeper needs, our creative sides. I'm seeing so many of my talented friends, artists, musically inclined friends, writers, they're out here publishing books. They're out here producing music, experimenting with art, and all of their passions that are typically deemed as less important and things that we typically don't find ourselves making enough time for because society prioritizes productivity and work and going to work and making money. Being in lockdown really forces us to make time and have that opportunity to get creative and have fun. Number 3, a strong sense of community. I'm really seeing the true goodness in people's hearts magnified at a time like this. Strangers are reaching out to each other. Neighbors are talking to neighbors and asking, what can I do for you? How can I help you in this time of need? Is it groceries? Can I walk your dog? Can I help you fix something on your computer? As best as we can while social distancing. It's all trying times, but I'm optimistic that things will go back to normal, and hopefully by normal I mean in a way that makes us more grateful and appreciative of all the little things around us, because we now know what it's like to be without them.